Global happenings today. We communicate, we analyze global news. Stay tuned. Hello guys, welcome to Global Happenings today. We have a trending news here for you. And the headline of the news reads, Top Nigerian pastor sees referendum. El-Zakzaky's death, ethnic clashes, and many more. See details. But before we continue with details of the news and for the analysis, we'd like to encourage you to subscribe to the channel by clicking on the red subscribe button and also on the bell icon so that you can get notification anytime we publish our videos on YouTube.
The General Overseer of Omega Fire Ministries, OFM, Apostle Johnson Suleiman, has released a very powerful word prophecy for the year 2020. The prophecies were posted on his official Facebook page as revealed by the man of God. He was revealed to him by God in August 2019, he claims. He said first there will be agricultural boom in Nigeria, greatest in history. He said he sees more activists are arrested. So there will be series of earthquakes, turmoil, even in Nigeria. He said UK will experience BRICS finally. He said there will be a new pattern of letter explosion. He says, I see ethnic clashes in Nigeria. Please let us pray hard. Say improve security situation in Nigeria. He said, I see internal deportations in Nigeria. I wonder what that means. He said, I see NFF, that's Nigeria, receive world recognition. He said, Liberia needs prayers, serious prayers. He sees bloodbath. One unique one, he said, I see cows killing herdsmen. He said the ruling party will fight the presidency. He said, I also see rise of many music stars. On the 24th of August 2019, he said he saw a revelation of many former governors. He said on the 24th, I take that again. He said on the 24th of August 2019, I saw a revelation of many former governors jailed, but some were granted bail before completing their terms. He said, I saw a senator collapse in public, but later resuscitated. He said, Nigeria presidency should release El-Zakzaky. He said, I saw him being led to rest, and it caused unspeakable uproar. It can be avoided if he's released now. He said, I saw something invented for cooking plugged to electricity. He said, I see a new medical center in Nigeria attracting the flow of foreigners into the country. He said, I saw something that looks like a referendum. That's 23 of his prophecy. He said, I saw a country being split into two, and there was a mass protest. He went further to say the Nigerian government should focus on fixing roads. It's urgent as this would address a major crisis between February and March. We are close. He said, I see a federal cabinet minister having crisis and being indicted. He now said, I saw Nigerians greatly honored in international scene. He said, a great businessman taking political stage. He said, I saw President Macron, France, fired some people in leadership. He said, I saw Nigerian film industry receive support from private investors. These are the major ones that he prophesied.
All right, thank you very much. Well, I think that wish is of great concern to Nigerians right now, and had been the prophecy over the life of El-Zakzaky. Don't forget that El-Zakzaky is actually the leader of the Shiite group. It's an Islamic group actually in Nigeria. He had been in prison for quite a long time. Fairly recently, he was released because on the grounds of his ill health sent to India, but now he's back again in detention. Expectation was that when the duos of Sowore and Dansuki was released, many people had expected that he was going to be released, but that is not the case. Fairly recently also, there had been a clash between the Shiite group in the north, between them and the police, though the police had declined that there was nothing like that. I watched it actually on Channels television. The clip was shown how they were throwing stone at the police. The reason was because one of their members was killed during, an occasion which they had. So the issue here is most of the pastors, when they issue out these prophecies, most people don't believe. But personally, I think that precautions should be taken over a lot of things that they have said. For someone like Apostle Johnson Suleiman, I can still remember that in his 2019 prophecy, he had said that one of the presidential aspirant will be thrown into prison, will be detained by DSS. And it came to pass as he had said. We saw Sowore. Sowore was detained in a prison since from August 2019 till December. So that alone was an affirmation that he actually hears from God, and God normally speaks to him. That's a personal one there. And I think that in the case of El-Zakzaky, if he's not released and he dies in detention, automatically that may generate so much rancor in Nigeria, because I know that the Shiite group, Islamic group, will suddenly arise and they will fight Nigeria. We have a lot already in our hands. The likes of Boko Haram is there, Fulani Herdsmen are there, other groups are there that are really agitating for one thing or the other. So for us to put our house in order so that we can face the pursuance of development in Nigeria, some of those things need to be handled once and for all. One of the things that is notable about this case of detention and all of that is the fact that even if you release these guys, they will still be coming for their legal proceeding. They will still be going to court, for their trial. They won't just stay back. They'll still be going. So why not release them? If they have made the terms of bail, why not release them so that whatever thing they are eating, you are not responsible for it. If it happens that the man will pass on to eternity, it will just be a case of him and his God, than for the people to turn back and look at you and put a question mark on you. One of the things that we must also take into consideration, which is overly important, is the fact that we will not be in the corridor of power for the rest of our lives. And most of these groups, they have myriads of persons who are, their members. And imagine you holding him under detention for as long as now and refusing to let him go, and he dies in detention. 10 years after now, the people whom he was leading will not forgive you. 20 years after now, they won't forgive you. And unfortunately, after then, maybe you will just be a normal man walking down the street, only for somebody to slam you and, begin to do all manner of things. It may not even be you. It may be your kids, because you've made him lose something which was of pride to him. He may not forget it in a hurry. And that's why it's needful for us to take into consideration the issue of El-Zakzaky prophecy by Apostle Johnson Suleiman and release the man. It's important so that we can avoid any form of crisis that may steam up in the nearest future. Peradventure, this kind of prophecy come to pass. And most important also to Nigeria is the case of referendum. Don't forget that sooner than we expected, the constitutional amendment will be taking place. Already we voted out a reasonable amount of money for that, and Nigerians have been agitating for it seriously from different quarters. I believe that it will be adopted, and if it is adopted, we know what referendum is. It's a way of a kind of getting the opinion of the people via votes, on national issues, any national issue that is really bothering the people. We go to, to the polls and we decide it via the votes of the people. So if it is engrafted into our constitution, that will solve a lot of pending problems. For example, the Biafra, they have been agitating for sovereignty, and up to now they've not been given. So if a referendum is enshrined into this constitution, then it therefore means we should be expecting a lot of issues to be solved via these, particular electoral process. All right, we have cases of ethnic clashes, cows killing headsmen, and the likes. We're putting our fingers crossed to see if these prophecies will actually come to pass. That of 2019, reasonable number of it actually came to pass. I'm not trying to support the man of God, but I respect the fact that most of his prophecy normally come to pass. And we are hopeful that some of them will come to pass. So let's just take precaution to avoid any that will come to pass, but then will bring crisis to the country. And my colleague is here. What do you have to say about this?
Well, I'm not surprised Pastor Apostle Johnson Suleiman has always been on point when it comes to prophecy. In fact, one of the things why people look out for him is always his New Year prophecy. Over time, he has been known to hit it on the nail, hit the nail on the head. But now let's go straight into his prophecy. The 23rd and the 24th one caught my attention when he said, I saw something that looks like a referendum. Before now, that some 5 years ago, he didn't really believe in Biafra. Yes, he was just talking normally on his pulpit, and he just mentioned, why are people agitating for a country like Biafra? But now he said that the Lord showed him that he saw something that looks like Biafra, and the 24th one says, and I saw a country being split into two, and there was a mass protest. Don't forget that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu has said in his, I think, 30th or so broadcast thereabout, I know it's sometime in December 2019, that there's going to be 30th of May 2020, just about the corner, that Biafra will be actualized. So with this one that the man of God have seen, that the Lord showed him, could it possibly be referring to Nigeria and Biafra? Time will tell. But let's go into the other one that caught my attention as well. We've heard so many things like thunder striking cows or Fulani headsmen, but I have not seen where cows kill headsmen. And in his 11 number 11 of his prophecy, he said, I saw cows killing headsmen. Well, there's nothing impossible, but let's see how it plays out. Just the year is still starting, but before the year runs out, let's see how eventually all plays out. But all the same, we'll really be looking forward to that referendum part that involves every Nigerian to cast their votes.
All right, thank you very much. When he talked about the splitting of a country, he wasn't specific about whether it was Nigeria or any other country. So for me, that one is actually very vague, because the truth of the matter is by 2020, so many countries will be considering, the issue of sovereignty for a particular part of the country that have been agitating. For example, Spain, we have Catalonians there. They've been agitating for sovereignty. They want to be a nation of their own. Different countries of the world have been agitating. So for me, I wanted some precision there. If it can be so precise, whether it's going to be Nigeria or, in a particular country, so that we know that there's precision there. But all the same, we are waiting to see the fulfillment of all this prophecy. But anyone that can be prevented can still be prevented. All right, that's where we're going to leave it. Go to our comment section. What do you think about these prophecies? Do you see the possibility of them coming to pass? Don't forget, this is actually the mouthpiece of God, and this is actually the content of divinity. So it may not look like it, but then as the day passes by, we may see it come to pass. All right.